It's just religion. It's just religion.
Gosh, the book of Genesis is really inspiring. I totally agree. What a great gift to learn exactly how humans were created with none of that modern science guff. Just God making the first two ever humans from the dust around 6,000 years ago. Are we reading the same book? The Bible is not a textbook. It was never intended as a literal blow-by-blow account of where humans came from. Oh, you're one of those, are you? Right. Well, I'm a conservative Christian, and I believe that the Bible is the Word of God. Now, as a liberal Christian, I also believe that the Bible is the inspired Word of God, because it inspires people today. Inspires people who are asking questions like, what makes humans special? And what does a good relationship with the environment look like? Genesis serves the purpose of showing people their place in the grand scheme of things. Well, you don't get to pick and choose which parts of the Bible you believe. Like, it's all the Word of God. And since God wrote it, and he's the only one of us who was present when everything began, we should believe it as it's written. Yes, but God gave us brains to think things through, didn't he? To think and to reason and to figure it out for ourselves. Not all of the Bible can be taken literally. For example, Jesus says, I am the door. Obviously, that's a metaphor. We need to be clever and use our reason to think when we're talking about interpreting the Bible. I think that's a slippery slope towards giving up on faith altogether. Like, what use is faith if we have to understand everything? Faith surely must be trusting that God knows more about these things than we do, that God knows more about the massive questions like how our entire species came about. And doesn't science constantly change its mind and change its answers? Yes, it does. And that's one of the great things about it. If we view the Bible as inspiring, but not everything being literally true, then it can inspire each new generation, and it can adapt and change in light of each new scientific discovery. But if you take Genesis literally, you have to conclude that dinosaurs, which are land animals, were created on the same day as humans, on the sixth day. Insisting that people need to believe in a kind of biblical Jurassic Park seems a bit of a stretch for people who are saying that they want to believe in Jesus. But you've raised a good point. I believe that there really was and is a man called Jesus who really was the Son of God and really died on the cross for my sins. Now, St. Paul compares Jesus to Adam in Romans chapter 5 and assumes that both of these are literal people. Why should I take Adam as a metaphor but Jesus as real? So when I read Genesis 2, the message I come away with is that humans are unique among all creatures because we carry God's image. And because of that, we are given a responsibility to look after our amazing world. Now, the Hebrew word for Adam can refer to the bloke in the garden, but it's also used for mankind and for men and women. Adam and Eve represent me and you and all people, and we can see ourselves in the story. We can see ourselves in them. One of the main reasons I read Genesis literally is because it seems to be the most straightforward way of reading it. Like, why would God make it so difficult? Having to figure out which parts are literal and which parts are history and which parts are myth. All I need is faith in a good God who won't steer me wrong. And I believe in that God too. Using a range of techniques, scientists date humans to be descended from previous ape-like creatures. And I can't believe that God would create a world to be so full of misleading information. Looks like we both need to go back and read the text again. Shall we meet here 1 year from this very moment and discuss it then? Yes, let's do that. I'll see you in 365 days, though we'll have to agree what day means. Everyone knows what day means.